I got asked this question today. How is the state of Idaho, how are the prosecutors going to prove Bryan Kohberger's motive? It's a good question. Let's get to work. Well, here's the answer. That's a trick question because prosecutors in Idaho do not have to prove motive. You do not have to prove motive to prove homicide in Idaho. You have to prove intent, or you have to prove situation, but you do not have to prove a motive. Okay, so what do I mean by that? Well, in Idaho's homicide statute, which I'll put up for you in a moment, you can be charged with first-degree murder in two particular parts of the statute. In one part, it describes how an individual can be charged with first-degree murder if, in the course of committing a forcible felony, they commit a homicide. That's automatically first-degree murder. What would be an example of that? Let's say you and I we actually robbed a corner store. And in the commission of that corner store, I went in, and you're the getaway driver, and I went in and I shot the clerk during the robbery. That's first-degree felony murder. That's first-degree murder. It happened in the commission of a robbery. I was using a firearm. Even you, the getaway driver, in the car with no gun, you're going to be charged with first-degree murder as well because you are my accomplice or you are my co-defendant or however it's called in different states. Okay, so that's what's called situational. I was in the situation of committing a forcible felony, an armed robbery. I killed the clerk. I am up for first-degree murder on that. The other way in which you can be charged in Idaho with first-degree murder is in the way that you commit that homicide. Now, they've already got Kohberger charging him with committing homicide in the course of committing what? A home invasion robbery or occupied burglary. I forgot what it was called in the indictment. But he's already committing a felony when he enters the home with the intent to commit a felony therein. He commits the homicides in there, so he situationally puts him up for first-degree murder just on that. But in Idaho, they also describe in the statute different manners of death that can qualify you for first-degree murder, such as poison, torture, just other, disgusting ways in which you can take a human life automatically puts you up there for first-degree murder, not just the intent. Like, for instance, a contract killer, all right? If I pay you and I want you to kill Mr. Purple on, November 13th at 5 o'clock, and somebody takes that contract to kill, that's a first-degree murder. That's planned, that's intent to kill, and that's your old-fashioned premeditated first-degree murder. So these all qualify for being charged with first-degree murder. But the state of Idaho does not have to prove motive. Again, jurors want to hear why. We want to hear why. We want to hear why a killer did what he or she did. It's human nature. But we may never know why Kohberger killed, what his reasons were, whether it was, it wasn't random, because obviously we're going to see evidence that he planned it, that there was intent, that he stalked. But we may not know exactly why he picked his victims. And that's very disturbing.